Hey everybody, it's Cyborg, and I am joined once again by Temp, and today we have Year 5, issue number 14. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Please like the video, subscribe if you want, if you're digging what we do, because we got plenty of more Injustice stuff to come. And let's get right to it. So today's issue, starting off with Barry, Central City, 5 years ago. He's talking to Iris, and this is right after the Joker was killed. And he essentially promises her that he will keep Superman in check, and that when it comes down to it, he will stand up to Superman if he goes too far down that wrong path. Then we flash forward back to now, and Cyborg and Wonder Woman are walking and not sure what to do with Zaz yet, and first they want to figure out if Sinestro is the one that let him out, but then all of a sudden they are caught off guard by Superman wanting to punch Flash's face in. And Flash keeps on dodging things, and they're trying to get him to let him go and stop the fighting. Flash finally gets Superman off of him. Superman goes in for a couple punches as Flash gets in some good digs about him being a dictator, and this is just what you want, that I'm just going to be another one that you kill, so on and so forth. Emperor Superman, and what he does with his enemies, and Flash keeps dodging, but eventually Superman does hit him. Flash goes with the punch, though, so luckily he survives it. If he hadn't gone with the motion and moved just at the right time, he could have had his head taken off. Wonder Woman's not happy about this, of course, but Superman just basically says, you need to decide once and for all whether you're with us or against us, and Flash takes off saying, don't come looking for me. Then we see him, he goes to Central City, and as Barry Allen, he doesn't go in his Flash outfit, he goes up to Iris, and he's just trying to talk to her, and she wants nothing to do with him. She's disgusted at who he is, and wants, like I said, nothing to do with him at all, and doesn't like the person that he's become. So clearly, she is not giving Barry a pass here. She is full on, screw you, you're a disgusting pig of a person, awful human being for standing with Superman after all he's done, and you made a promise and you did not adhere to it. And then we cut to him sitting in a bar, and the bartender asks him what he can get him, and he gives him he gets a Belgian ale, and when he gives it to him, he goes, here you go, nice and cold. And they emphasize the word cold there. He goes, thanks, hey, you remind me of somebody. You look familiar. Leonard, is that you? And he says, no, my name is Larry. And he goes, oh, my mistake, you just look like somebody I used to know. Clearly, Captain Cold.
Yeah.
And
much.
It's seemingly Captain Cold in disguise, and well, not in disguise. It's his normal self without all the get-up and everything. But he's going under the guise of
He's
Larry.
even wearing blue. It's not subtle.
But yeah, I doubt they know. Barry probably doesn't know. I mean, Captain Cold probably doesn't know what Barry looks like underneath the Flash. I don't know. I don't know that much history about Captain Cold as a character and what the Rogues know about Barry's identity, but at the end of the day, it's not unreasonable to think Captain Cold's somewhat disguising himself so he can lay low for a while at the very least. So he wants to talk about the regime, Barry does, but he has a strict policy, Larry does, and he has a sign hanging up that says, no talking politics or religion ever. I like that sign. It's a reasonable sign. And then as they're talking, eventually Barry hears something and immediately storms off. And he's running up these stairs into a building. He comes to Iris's aid along with other insurgents, backers, and there's a bunch of Superman soldiers with King Shark and Girder, and they want to take Iris and her pals in, and that's where we leave off in the first chapter. We take up on the next chapter right off as we left off, and Barry's trying to get Iris out of there. She doesn't want anything of it. And basically the same thing. She's just playing hard to get, not wanting anything to do with Barry because he's a big old jerk. Anyways, King Shark goes to stop Barry and to take Iris in, and Barry manages to knock Girder down, but then when King Shark goes for Iris, Barry throws a broom right at King Shark, throws it like the blunt end first, not the broom side first. Goes right into King Shark's mouth and through his body with such force because he was just caught in a panic and threw it at King Shark to stop him. not knowing his own strength, supposedly in this case, and throws it right through his body. He falls down dead. King Shark does. And Barry's not looking good here. Like, Barry's that guy that's like, come on, baby, believe me, please. Please, you gotta believe me. And then he accidentally shoots somebody, and then he's like, oh, he drops the gun, and he's like, no, you got me all wrong. It doesn't, no, oh.
It's very, I did not hit her. I did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, bad situation Barry's in, trying to get back his love of his life, so to speak, and she's not having any of it, and then, he ends up accidentally killing Killer Shark. And she really wants nothing to do with him at this point. She gives herself up to Girder and asks to be taken away because she wants nothing to do with the Flash. And the Flash ends up taking her away. He leaves the other ones behind, but he does take Iris. And he takes Iris up on top of a building. And she kind of goes over the consequences, that he does not accept the consequences for his actions. And then she mentions that she was there 5 years ago in Melbourne, Australia. And we have a callback to the first year where Galaxer gets beat up by Superman and Wonder Woman, and Flash just sits there and doesn't do anything about it. And it's the kid that idolized the Flash growing up that we learned about. Well, she explains, yeah, he committed suicide 3 years ago. So just add that to the weight that Barry's dealing with, and just unfortunate, like, everything's just disgusting about how this is all going down. And he's kind of taken aback by this, but he explains that it's a very simplistic view of the world, Iris, and that the Barry she knew would have sacrificed his life just to save that one person, but clearly he did not. So she thought he shared a view with her, but he's not the man that she thought he was, and she wants nothing to do with him. Barry goes back to Superman, and we kind of cut back and forth between this and Barry talking with Batman after the fact, following up on Batman's request for him to go back in time to stop all of this before it ever happened. And he says, no can do, Batman. Maybe this is the way the world was meant to be, and maybe this is the world that we deserve. Batman says you can't really think that, but Barry seemingly does. And cut back to him talking with Superman. Superman had asked him prior, are you with us? And are we not going to have any more problems? He's a little bit hesitant with Barry, but since he not only killed King Shark, but he brought the insurgents back, including Iris. So he turned in his own, like, former love to Superman. I believe it's his former love. It's not his, like, it's not his sister, I hope. Otherwise I'm getting that incredibly wrong.
I get the impression of a romantic relationship. Yes. I'm not 100% sure myself, but
sounds like they were married. It does not
seem, yeah.
Because she has his last name, that's why I'm only questioning it. But anyways, he takes the fact that he was able to turn her into the regime as a huge kind of like vote of confidence, so to speak. And then Flash ends up saying, yes, he's with them. And Superman says, get out of my sight until I have use for you. And Flash just kind of cowers away. So that's where we leave off. Strong issue, I thought. I liked the interaction between him and Iris. I liked the interaction between him and seemingly Captain Cold. The only thing I didn't like is Flash being a bitch. And I thought this is his turning point, but here he is once again conforming, and that sucks.
Yeah, I like the issue. The only thing I didn't like was him murdering King Shark. Yeah. I felt like that felt really forced and contrived. It's funny that this is the first time this has ever happened, and given Flash has been using his powers for years upon years and years. This can't be the first time someone he's cared about has been in danger. And just, like, helplessly impales a shark, man. I just think
it's got to happen. At least daily, you know.
Yeah,
Sharkman being accidentally impaled by brooms.
It's super hard to believe that happened, so I don't know if I'm sold on that. I really like what they did with Captain Cold. I like the idea that he gets off on giving people really cold beers. I think that's awesome.
Here it is. Cold. Isn't that cold?
Just, oh god, it's great. I love it. I didn't know. I thought he was younger than that. He looks younger than that in IJ2. He doesn't look this old, so I didn't. We
don't really see his hair. I mean, we don't know in Injustice 2 if he's got like white hair, but yeah.
Pretty great though. I of course I love the Superman Flash argument. That was so good.
Yeah.
And I didn't talk about it enough in the last issue, but it's just so funny how much Hal Jordan is such a bitch. Like I get a kick out of it at this point, and
I have no like desire to see him redeemed going into the second game. He's just like a douche. Like at least Flash is like questioning things. Hal's just like, I'm just gonna kill my friends, and yeah.
I think he's redeemable just because he's so bad at the Yellow Lantern powers that I have to believe he's bad at it because it's not who he is. And I think he knows that, so he just gets punked at every single corner, and which is a lot of fun. But
like to me, Hal is just like a complete like douche. Not to the Superman level, but Flash is not a complete douche. Flash is the guy. Flash is the abusive girlfriend here. He's the one that he almost gets away, and you're like, yes, you finally did it. You finally left Superman, and then he gets brought back in and makes another bad decision, and then that bad decision makes him feel like he's utter trash, so then he thinks he belongs where he is, and he thinks he deserves the fate he has. That's essentially what he was telling Batman. Is, you know what, I deserve this, I made horrible choices, I deserve to accept this fate at this point, is essentially what I took away from that. So that's why he didn't want to go back in time, because Iris essentially said, you know, you don't accept the consequences. Well, this is Flash accepting the consequences by not going back in time, and him going back with Superman. That's how I interpreted that, and like, I feel bad for Flash, but at the same time, he's also stood by, and like the whole suicide from the kid that he didn't save, that's rough. But yeah, he's in a bad way at this point, and I can't wait for him to, you know, get out of there. So
yeah, no doubt, I certainly agree. It's just the ending. It works, but my problem is it works because of the King Shark stuff, and I still don't know if I'm sold on that little plot point of the issue.
Yeah.
Though also the art, little sketchy here and there, not always bad.
Yeah, the art was not good in this issue, definitely not. There's like two good panels.
Yeah, well, the part that really bothers me is right before the final flashback at the end of the last issue.
Yeah.
It shows him standing for Superman, and he just looks so bad.
Yeah.
Like he's like all hunched over.
Yeah, he's got some funny faces.
Yeah, and then
he does.
Again, no one has any eyes in the final panel. Just like, it's funny. I mean, you should laugh at it. It's a hoot.
But
but the only character I think is the only character I think is truly beyond redemption is obviously Superman. But I was gonna say Wonder Woman. Like Wonder Woman is just so far beyond redemption to me.
I agree and disagree. I feel like Hal is way more irredeemable than Wonder Woman. Hal actively killed like Kyle, or not Kyle, but Guy, and he just did a lot of nasty stuff. I feel like I'm forgetting most of the stuff that Hal did that was really gross, but really the only bad thing Wonder Woman's done other than just being a manipulative bitch is the only thing she's really done is accidentally kill Huntress. Did she kill anybody else? I don't think she has.
No, but I think the manipulation's a big issue. Well, I mean, you can argue she killed a lot of the soldiers in year one, but also, I think she's turned a blind eye more than anyone else. I think Hal Jordan, he's not actually turning a blind eye, he's just scared. He's scared to do anything about it. Yeah, I think Hal knows that Superman, what's up?
Well, Wonder Woman's had her couple of moments where she's shown like a conscience. She wasn't okay with torture, she's not okay with working with criminals, and she wasn't okay with but Superman leading by fear and working with Sinestro.
She's not okay with Hal, just overall.
But I mean, like Hal. So she's had several moments where she's not okay with certain lengths that Superman's going to. So I feel like that in itself shows that she's redeemable. Also, her not purposely killing Huntress shows that she's redeemable. Like Hal is, when he killed Guy Gardner and went against, like, betrayed all of the Lanterns, like, that's rough to me. That's hard for me to come back from as, like, okay to me. I mean, he's actively working with Sinestro. Ganthet was killed. Jon Stewart was killed. A lot of these things happened because of Hal. I mean...
No, you're right. I mean, to be fair, he killed Guy because he thought Guy took out. I mean, because he's stupid, but he thought that Guy took out Stuart. So
I feel like Wonder Woman's collateral damage has been less, and she's also shown more remorse and boundaries than Hal has at this point, in my opinion. Yeah, her manipulation's been awful and has not helped any of the matters, and definitely led to some awful moments, but not nearly to the degree of Hal, in my opinion.
Well, in Justice 2, she just seems so unrepentant, though. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like Injustice. I'm glad they're following through with that. By the way, it sounds like we're still getting the bitchy Wonder Woman from Injustice 1. It sounds like that's what we got in Injustice 2. So I'm actually happy about that. But yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean, yeah, definitely. I see where you're coming from, but I feel like Hal is just horribly afraid, which is ironic because he's the Yellow Lantern now. And something about that does work for me.
Yeah,
I don't understand Wonder Woman. I don't understand why she did the thing she did. At least I understand where Hal comes from, even if he's. I mean, Mogo. My gosh, like it's the horrible things that have happened because Hal's an idiot. Like it's bad, but yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from, though.
I mean, he's essentially he played a part in Kilowog dying because Kilowog is in capture because of Hal betraying them.
Yeah.
He actively played a part in Ganthet dying. Actively played a part in Mogo dying. Other Lanterns that I'm sure died during all of that. Obviously, John Stewart was killed just to manipulate Hal. Guy Gardner was killed by Hal, even though, he was under rage and whatever. But, I mean, he's caused a lot of deaths of key characters, whereas Wonder Woman, she accidentally choked or snapped the neck of Huntress. And, I don't know. It's just, I feel like, I would buy Wonder Woman coming to her senses and trying to redeem herself quicker than I would Hal. And obviously we know what we're getting in Injustice 2 with Hal, but still, I don't know. That's how I view it. Anyways.
I mean, fair enough. Yeah, I could see that. It was a fun issue. This might be a good one for the Nethercast, but yeah, it definitely is a fun issue to talk about. Who is worth redeeming at this point? And just before we close out, there is a picture in let's see, where is it? Let me see if I can find it. But it's in chapter 28, the last one we just read.
Right.
It shows all of them before Judgment, under Flash, and Flash is staying before him. It's right after all the King Shark stuff.
Yeah.
It's right when he returns. Look at everyone's eyes, at least the people who have eyes. Like Shazam is like staring him down hard.
Yeah.
But Cyborg's looking slightly to the right. Like there's something kind of fucked up going on. Yeah, but anyway, I thought that was funny. Good issue though, overall, good stuff.
Okay, well on that note, we'll end it here, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the discussion and the recap of the issue as well. And we will see you tomorrow for issue number 15 of Year 5. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. And you guys take care. See you later.
Peace out, guys.